What's going on, everybody? My name is Jason and welcome to my channel. Today is mail day and I actually got a couple of packages in. One of these packages is from Mike. You know who you are. I actually met Mike at the Keith King stunt show, and he said he had something to send me, and he sent it. So thank you very much, Mike. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what he sent us. Okay, I love it when there's a letter. All right, so let's see. It says, Jason. That's some really good handwriting there. Sorry it took so long to get this stuff out, but I was trying to find the rear race lace hub. Rear race lace hub. As you can tell, I couldn't find it. If it ever shows up, I'll send it your way. Mike S. Thank you very much, Mike. So let's take a look. And I see something blue. Let's get this out. This is cool. This is an old freestyle seat that had a special feature to it. And let's see. Ooh, that is so cool and a little obscene. So the cool thing about this was whenever you were doing bar spins, you could actually hit this little hidden button underneath the seat, and the nose would pop out and the handlebar would swing around, make contact with this little button here, and you could grab hold of it and you could do your tricks a lot easier. So this is really cool. This seat, I don't see a name on it. I see it's made in Taiwan, and it's a really cool seat. This will, now the way I got it, it's actually broken, and he had no more use with it. So I told him if he ever had anything that he didn't want to let me know, and I can actually hang it up on the wall. But thanks, Mike. This is really cool. I will find a good place to put this seat. I guess maybe I'll have it with that out. So I'm sorry, that's so cool. I've actually never had one of these seats in my hand. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in person, and it actually works really well. Better stop doing it before it breaks, because after all, this is an old seat. All right, I'm going to put this away. And the cool thing that he had as well, he was giving these stickers away at the Keith King stunt show. This actually says GT Out of Order Trick Team, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Looks really cool. It looks like the original GT stickers or decals that he put his own little twist on. Really cool. And we got something else here. We have an old GT freestyle hub. It's missing the axle and the bearings, but I'm pretty sure that we'll have no trouble finding that. The chrome has flaked off of this, which is a shame, but we're going to hold on to this, and we're going to see if maybe we can fix this. So thanks again, Mike. All right. For the next thing that we have, I have a little box right here, and it's a little concerning because I received this from the post. Was this from the post office? Yes, United States Postal Service. It's open now. It looks like everything's in here. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, and I see a little bit of red. Okay, it's in there. So let's see what this is. I know what this is. This is an old die comp with a little finger holds there. I was never a big fan of these, but I didn't order this for the lever. I ordered this for the brake. So what we have here is we have a die comp brake. Now this one is an original die comp brake from the early 80s. I ordered this because I've got this 81 GT, and now this 81 GT is all original except for one thing, and that thing is the rear brake. Now the rear brake on that is actually one of the reproduction brakes, the reissue ones, you could say. And I got that because I was planning on replacing it. Now, I had every intention on finding a replacement brake for that bike, but I've been unsuccessful in finding a brake that is right. So this one kind of suits the bike. It's got some scratches on it. It's looking a little crusty, but that bike is from 1981. This brake is from 1983. Okay, so it's not 100%, but it's close enough. It's early 80s. So I got an idea. This was supposed to be a male unboxing video, but I can save some of the other boxes for later. Let's go ahead and get this brake put onto that bike, and let's do that right now. So let's go ahead and get it down. All right, I had to get a step ladder here, and let's see if I can get this thing down easily. I made this where I can actually do this, although I'm not as close to the wall as I'd like. But thankfully this bike is a race bike and is not heavy. So as the color and the scratches on this brake works with the bike. Now the bike is a 1981. This brake was made in September of 1982, so it's really close to the actual year. We're going to take the brake pads off of the new brake, and we're going to put it on this old one because these brake pads they're wore out. So let's go ahead and get this installed. So we're going to go ahead and unhook this brake right here. Helps if I have all the tools. And this shouldn't take too terribly long. You would not believe how long I've been trying to find a good replacement brake for this bike, because This bike, everything is era correct except for this, and I have been trying to find one of these brakes for the longest time. It's been a couple of years now, and it's just never come up. So, let's see. Now, for those of y'all who are not familiar with this bike right here, this is a 1981 GT. This is a very early GT. It's not the earliest, but it is an early one. And Gary Turner, that's who the GT stands for. Gary Turner was making a lot of these bikes in his garage. Now, in 1981, I don't know if he was making this in his garage or if they had the company GT at this point. I believe they did have the company, pretty sure. But I ended up buying this bike from the Raleigh flea market. I paid $90 for this. Now, that was a heck of a deal, and some people might get upset with me with the way I got it, but there was this guy that was at the flea market that advertised himself as being the bike shop, the Raleigh bike shop, Raleigh flea market bike shop. And this guy, so what he did was he priced bikes by the way they looked. So there'd be a Trek that he'd have a pretty good price of like 75 bucks on. That was really dirty. And then right next to the Trek there would be a Huffy that he'd have $200 on. And the bike didn't even cost that whenever it was new, so the guy clearly didn't know what he was working with. He didn't know what he was doing, but he'd kind of trick people into believing that he was, a bike shop. Why go to a bike shop that's more expensive whenever you can come here and buy or deal with me and pay less? Well, again, he didn't know what he was talking about. So I used to go up there and I would shop. I would look for bikes, and I bought several bikes from him because there were a lot of diamond in the rough bikes. And so one day I was looking for a bike, and I didn't see anything that I really cared for. Let's take these brake pads off this this new brake. So I was looking, and I didn't see anything that stood out. What fell? Oh. Ugh. The little adjustment knob. I need to make sure I don't lose that. So I was looking for a bike to buy, and I couldn't find anything that I really liked. So I was about to leave whenever I saw this bike on the trailer behind all the bikes. And I asked him, hey, how much is that bike on the trailer? And he looked at me and he was like, oh, that bike's way too small for you. And which was true. I mean, this is too small for me. He definitely knew that. And but I was like, yeah, I know it's too small for me, but I used to have a bike like that whenever I was a kid, which was kind of a lie. I did have some bikes that were like this, but I didn't have a GT, an 81 GT. I had others that might have looked kind of like it. But so he was like, give me $100. Well, I was shocked at that $100, and before I could even stop myself, because he was like, give me $100. I immediately was like, would you take 90? And before I even finished saying that, the guy was like, yeah. So I got my money out and I was giving it to him. This guy was laughing. He thought I was nuts buying this bike. And inside my head, I was thinking this guy was crazy for not knowing what bike he had. Okay, this is almost done. So he was happy. I was definitely happy, because this bike right here is one of my absolute favorite bikes. It's one of my favorite bikes from the entire collection that I've got. And there is a reason why. I mean, one, the price was great. Also, the now this is not the proper way of adjusting this brake, but this is a quick way that you can do it in the comfort of your own home. I'm trying to get the brake centered where both sides are moving. Do you see how one side is moving more than the other? So what I'm doing is I am loosening up this back one, and I'm turning the whole brake, and I'm being very careful because you can't turn this too hard, otherwise you mess up the adjustment. Look at that. That is perfect right there. Okay. So if you turn that too hard, it will tighten it up. In this case, it would have loosened it up. Anyway, let's put this cap on, this cable tip, I should say, and let's talk more about this bike. But that brake is actually done. This is an amazing bike. It's an amazing looking bike. I got it all like this, and in fact, the brake that was on this bike, it was actually this exact brake, but it was silver instead of red, which is why I put this brake on, and I was trying to find an actual original one, which these are great brakes, but these reissue ones, they're made in Taiwan, whereas the original one was made in Japan. This brake is actually made in Japan, and it's not an anodized red, it's actually painted, which I believe the MX-1000 was, no, that one was probably painted as well. But where were we? Absolutely amazing bike. This did come just like this, only with a silver brake here, and the original wheels that were on this were actually like some junior wheels. They were 20 by 1 3/8, which were a bigger diameter, and the rims were black. I actually had these wheels hanging around the shop. I've had them for years, and I was just looking for the bike to put them on. Well, this bike had the red clamp here, it had a red headset, it had this red Nitto MX2 stem on there, it had the red brake lever on here, the original die-comp brake lever, and these original Amy grips with the red. So these wheels just really screamed to be put on this bike. But this is a very special bike because of the early Santa Ana, California made GT. The decals are original. It's got these Sun Tour pedals on here, It's got a Pete's Precision chain ring on there with a I don't know what chain or the spider is. The spider, I imagine, is probably a Toughman spider. This bike has, I believe these are actually the first generation star bars on here, which is absolutely amazing. You cannot find these bars anywhere, and I haven't been able to see how much these handlebars are worth. They are worth a lot. Let me see, these wheels are worth a lot. Now the seat and the seat post are both GT. They came with this bike. The seat and seat post are actually from a different year. It's an 80s, but these came off of like a GT freestyle bike and not a race bike. It came with the bike. I'm leaving it on there. Yeah, those star bars are absolutely amazing. It came with the Terry cable on here originally. It came with these flight pads, all for $90. So I really lucked out on this bike. Hopefully y'all like it too, because I sure do. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing polished back up and hung up. This thing turned out great. Now that we've got the new brake on there, or should say the old brake, let's go ahead and get this thing hung back up where it belongs. So what do y'all think of the bike? I absolutely love this bike. Absolutely one of my favorite ones. I love the color. I love the history of GT. And I feel real lucky to actually own it. So let's get this thing put up. It's probably not as easy to put up as it was taken down. Let's get that rear one on. Let's get the front one. And you know, the weather is absolutely crazy out there. Let me see. It's January, what is it, 25th? And we've got this big ice storm that is affecting us. Although it's not as bad as they were telling us it was going to be. But it's still pretty bad. I need to get my butt back home so I can edit this video. Let's see. I think we can do one more. Let's see. Or not. Okay. So, thanks for joining me. I really enjoy showing y'all some of the projects I've got. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to tell your friends. Check out some of the other videos on the corner of the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Thanks.